What's up, Rec Tech family? I'm Chef Greg, and today I have an awesome recipe for you. We're doing soft pretzels with none other than Shinerbach beer cheese. It's gonna be amazing. A lot of you might not realize that you can cook on your grills better than the ovens at your house. With as hot as it is down south, it's more fun to cook outside than inside, so let's get started. I've got 1 cup of milk that we've heated about 110 degrees. We've got 1 package of active dry yeast, 3 tablespoons of light brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of sea salt. We've also got 2 tablespoons of soft butter and 3 cups of all-purpose flour. So to get started, we're just gonna put our milk in our bowl. And you could mix this by hand too, but I mean, you got technology, let's use it. We'll go ahead and add our yeast, our salt, and our sugar. Turn that mixer on for just 30 seconds or so to get it incorporated, then we'll leave it alone for about 5 minutes. Now we've dissolved that yeast in that warm milk, and it's really important to let that yeast activate for about 4 to 5 minutes. What's gonna happen is you'll start to see that yeast really come alive. You get some bubbles in that milk, and that really tells you your yeast is alive. If you don't see any bubbles or foaming, your yeast is probably dead. It's about time you bought some new stuff in the pantry, and if your yeast is really old, just save yourself the aggravation, go to the store, get you some fresh yeast, and you won't have to worry about it. Make sure when you first turn your mixture on, you're on a low speed, otherwise you might have a flour shower. We'll continue to slowly knead the dough ball for about 5 to 8 minutes until it pulls away from the side of the bowl. The dough's looking perfect. See, that dough ball's got a great consistency. I can pick it up with my hands, it's not super sticky. We're gonna kind of roll it over on itself. And I've got a couple tablespoons of olive oil in this bowl. We're gonna put this to bed. Roll it around a little bit. We're gonna put this in someplace warm, and down south it's only about 140 degrees outside, so it's a perfect place for this to go through its first rise, and we'll look for this to double in size. So I'm gonna put this on the hopper lid of the 590, stay nice and warm. The Shinerbach beer cheese couldn't be any simpler. We've got the RT 590 preheated to 450 degrees with a cast enamel Dutch oven. We're gonna add 3 tablespoons of butter along with a half a cup of all-purpose flour. We're gonna mix that together, we're gonna form a roux. We're gonna go ahead and add a Shinerbach. You know what? Let's make that 2 Shinerbachs. We're gonna allow that to come to a simmer. It shouldn't take just a few minutes. We're also gonna add in a tablespoon of spicy brown mustard along with a teaspoon of Ron's Screamin' Pig Rub. That's gonna give us some nice spiciness to this cheese sauce. And then 2 of my favorite cheeses, we're gonna add a pound of sharp New York style cheddar cheese along with a pound of Gouda. And I love Gouda in this recipe because it gives this sauce a really nice creaminess and a little bit of a tang. It's gonna be fantastic with these pretzels. All right, this dough has risen for about 45 minutes. It's doubled in size. It went through that primary fermentation. So we're gonna go ahead and put it out on a board here with a little bit of flour. Start working that dough. We'll make like a little loaf with it. And then we'll go ahead and cut this into 10, I believe. Then on a floured surface, kind of take it in your hands, and we're gonna make pretzel rods with these. Again, the RT 590 has plenty of space in there. We're gonna maximize this. We're going rods today. And to give the pretzels that really good uniform browning, we've got a mixture of 3 cups of water with 3 tablespoons of baking soda. We're just gonna give these a little dip in there, and then we'll line them on a parchment-lined sheet pan. We've got our pretzel rods ready to go. We'll see you at the RT 590. With 590 square inches of cook space, a half sheet pan fits more than comfortably in this grill. The benefit to the RT 590 is the additional headspace at 9.5 inches, large enough to accommodate all of those big meats, those large turkeys, prime ribs, and hams. All right, you didn't think we'd go a whole pretzel episode and not show you how to make a pretzel knot. So what you do is super simple. You can make a horseshoe if you want, cross it over itself, cross over again, and then you can tuck up into the corners. And there you go, get a nice pretzel. Kind of shape it out a little bit. We'll let these pretzels bake for about 8 to 10 minutes until they are golden brown and crispy all over. All right, to finish these pretzels off, I've got some melted butter. We're just gonna brush them all over. And I've got some really nice coarse sea salt. You could top this with honestly anything. Heifer dust is really good, but we're gonna go old school with some coarse salt. Can't forget about that one. And if that didn't look good enough, this beer cheese, child please. Look at how thick, creamy that is. Gotta do it. That pretzel right there. Woo! I'm telling you, grab you some Shiner, make you some pretzels, make some beer cheese, burn your frenulum. We'll see you guys at the Rec Deck.